We are more likely to repeat a behavior when the experience is satisfying. Pleasure teaches your brain that a behavior is worth remembering and repeating. Once you understand how the brain prioritizes rewards, the answers become clear. The consequences of bad habits are delayed while the rewards are immediate. With our bad habits, the immediate outcome usually feels good, but the ultimate outcome feels bad. With good habits, it's the reverse. The immediate outcome is unenjoyable, but the ultimate outcome feels good. As a general rule, the more immediate pleasure you get from an action, the more strongly you should question whether it aligns with your long-term goals. At some point, success in nearly every field requires you to ignore an immediate reward in favor of a delayed reward. The best way to do this is to add a little bit of immediate pleasure to the habits that pay off in the long run, and a little bit of immediate pain to ones that don't. The vital thing in getting a habit to stick is to feel successful, even if it's in a small way. The feeling of success is a signal that your habit paid off and that the work was worth the effort. Early on, it's all sacrifice. In the beginning, you need a reason to stay on track. This is why immediate rewards are essential. They keep you excited while the delayed rewards accumulate in the background. What we're really talking about here when we're discussing immediate rewards is the ending of a behavior. The ending of any experience is vital because we tend to remember it more than other phases. You want the ending of your habit to be satisfying. The best approach is to use reinforcement, which refers to the process of using an immediate reward to increase the rate of a behavior. It is worth noting that it is important to select short-term rewards that reinforce your identity rather than ones that conflict with it. The more a habit becomes part of your life, the less you need outside encouragement to follow through. Incentives can start a habit. Identity sustains a habit. Immediate reinforcement helps maintain motivation in the short term while you're waiting for the long-term rewards to arrive. Making progress is satisfying, and visual measures like moving paper clips or hairpins or marbles provide clear evidence of your progress. As a result, they reinforce your behavior and add a little bit of immediate satisfaction to any activity. A habit tracker is a simple way to measure whether you did a habit. The most basic format is to get a calendar and cross off each day you stick with your routine. Don't break the chain is a powerful mantra. Recording your last action creates a trigger that can initiate your next one. The mere act of tracking a behavior can spark the urge to change it. The most effective form of motivation is progress. When we get a signal that we are moving forward, we become more motivated to continue down that path. In this way, habit tracking can have an addictive effect on motivation. First, whenever possible, measurement should be automated. Second, manual tracking should be limited to your most important habits. It is better to consistently track one habit than to sporadically track 10. Finally, record each measurement immediately after the habit occurs. No matter how consistent you are with your habits, it is inevitable that life will interrupt you at some point. Whenever this happens to me, I try to remind myself of a simple rule. Never miss twice. The first mistake is never the one that ruins you. It is the spiral of repeated mistakes that follows. Missing once is an accident. Missing twice is the start of a new habit. Too often we fall into an all-or-nothing cycle with our habits. The problem is not slipping up. The problem is thinking that if you can't do something perfectly, then you shouldn't do it at all. You don't realize how valuable it is to just show up on your bad or busy days. Lost days hurt you more than successful days help you. Measurement is only useful when it guides you and adds context to a larger picture, not when it consumes you. Each number is simply one piece of feedback in the overall system. Pain is an effective teacher. If a failure is painful, it gets fixed. If a failure is relatively painless, it gets ignored. The more immediate and more costly a mistake is, the faster you will learn from it. If you want to prevent bad habits and eliminate unhealthy behaviors, then adding an instant cost to the action is a great way to reduce their odds. As soon as actions incur an immediate consequence, behavior begins to change. If you're going to rely on punishment to change behavior, then the strength of the punishment must match the relative strength of the behavior it is trying to correct. Behavior only shifts if the punishment is painful enough and reliably enforced. Thankfully, there is a straightforward way to add an immediate cost to any bad habit. Create a habit contract. Just as governments use laws to hold citizens accountable, you can create a habit contract to hold yourself accountable. A habit contract is a verbal or written agreement in which you state your commitment to a particular habit and the punishment that will occur if you don't follow through. Then you find 1 or 2 people to act as your accountability partners and sign off on the contract with you. If you don't want to create a full-blown habit contract, simply having an accountability partner is useful. Knowing that someone is watching can be a powerful motivator. You are less likely to procrastinate or give up because there is an immediate cost. The secret to maximizing your odds of success is to choose the right field of competition. Habits are easier to perform and more satisfying to stick with when they align with your natural inclinations and abilities. Our environment determines the suitability of our genes and the utility of our natural talents. When our environment changes, so do the qualities that determine success. Competence is highly dependent on context. In short, genes do not determine your destiny. They determine your areas of opportunity. The key is to direct your effort toward areas that both excite you and match your natural skills to align your ambition with your ability. Your personality is the set of characteristics that is consistent from situation to situation. The most proven scientific analysis of personality traits is known as the Big Five, which breaks them down into 5 spectrums of behavior. Openness to experience. From curious and inventive on one end to cautious and consistent on the other. Conscientiousness. Organized and efficient to easygoing and spontaneous. Extroversion. Outgoing and energetic to solitary and reserved. Agreeableness. Friendly and compassionate to challenging and detached. Neuroticism. Anxious and sensitive to confident, calm, and stable. Choose the habit that best suits you, not the one that is most popular. When a habit is easy, you are more likely to be successful. In the long run, if you continue to advance and improve, any area can become challenging. At some point, you need to make sure you're playing the right game for your skill set. How do you figure that out? The most common approach is trial and error. In the beginning of a new activity, there should be a period of exploration. After this initial period of exploration, shift your focus to the best solution you found, but keep experimenting occasionally. We all have limited time on this planet, and the truly great among us are the ones who not only work hard, but also have the good fortune to be exposed to opportunities. If you can't find a game where the odds are stacked in your favor, create one. When you can't win by being better, you can win by being different. By combining your skills, you reduce the level of competition, which makes it easier to stand out. You can shortcut the need for a genetic advantage or for years of practice by rewriting the rules. A good player works hard to win the game everyone else is playing. A great player creates a new game that favors their strengths and avoids their weaknesses. Specialization is a powerful way to overcome the accident of bad genetics. The more you master a specific skill, the harder it becomes for others to compete with you. Once we realize our strengths, we know where to spend our time and energy. We know which types of opportunities to look for and which type of challenges to avoid. The better we understand our nature, the better our strategy can be. Work hard on the things that come easy. While there is still much to learn, one of the most consistent findings is that the way to maintain motivation and achieve peak levels of desire is to work on tasks of just manageable difficulty. The human brain loves a challenge, but only if it is within an optimal zone of difficulty. When you're starting a new habit, it's important to keep the behavior as easy as possible so you can stick with it even when conditions aren't perfect. Once a habit has been established, however, it's important to continue to advance in small ways. These little improvements and new challenges keep you engaged. A flow state is the experience of being in the zone and fully immersed in an activity. Scientists have tried to quantify this feeling. They found that to achieve a state of flow, a task must be roughly 4% beyond your current ability. Behaviors need to remain novel in order for them to stay attractive and satisfying. Without variety, we get bored. And boredom is perhaps the greatest villain on the quest for self-improvement. But this coach was saying that really successful people feel the same lack of motivation as everyone else. The difference is that they still find a way to show up, despite the feelings of boredom. The greatest threat to success is not failure, but boredom. The sweet spot of desire occurs at a 50-50 split between success and failure. You need just enough winning to experience satisfaction and just enough wanting to experience desire. Variable rewards or not, no habit will stay interesting forever. At some point, everyone faces the same challenge on the journey of self-improvement. You have to fall in love with boredom. If you only do the work when it's convenient or exciting, then you'll never be consistent enough to achieve remarkable results. But stepping up when it's annoying or painful or draining to do so, that's what makes the difference between a professional and an amateur. When a habit is truly important to you, you have to be willing to stick to it in any mood. However, the benefits of habits come at a cost. But then, as a habit becomes automatic, you become less sensitive to feedback. You fall into mindless repetition. It becomes easier to let mistakes slide. The upside of habits is that we can do things without thinking. The downside of habits is that you get used to doing things a certain way and stop paying attention to little errors. You assume you're getting better because you're gaining experience. In reality, you are merely reinforcing your current habits, not improving them. In fact, some research has shown that once a skill has been mastered, there is usually a slight decline in performance over time. However, when you want to maximize your potential and achieve elite levels of performance, you need a more nuanced approach. Habits are necessary, but not sufficient for mastery. What you need is a combination of automatic habits and deliberate practice. Habits plus deliberate practice equals mastery. Mastery is the process of narrowing your focus to a tiny element of success, repeating it until you have internalized the skill, and then using this new habit as the foundation to advance to the next frontier of your development. Each habit unlocks the next level of performance. It's an endless cycle. Reflection and review enables the long-term improvement of all habits because it makes you aware of your mistakes and helps you consider possible paths for improvement. Improvement is not just about learning habits, it's also about fine-tuning them. Reflection and review ensures that you spend your time on the right things and make course corrections wherever necessary.